Welcome to the Lee Priest Open. Today's matchup features the 2000 Mr. Olympia versus the 2002 Arnold Classic Lee Priests. This tournament is narrowing down. Only 6 versions remaining, including these two. I have the Mr. Olympia version winning just slightly in this. Now, he is dominating, I believe, in the conditioning department. Look at the thin skin. Wow. Even has an advantage in the mass, I believe, in the upper body. When I look at the legs, I believe there is a slight advantage to the 02 Arnold Classic, but not enough. I believe that's probably the camera angle. Thus, of course, the larger upper body in the 2000 Mr. Olympia. But other than that, I give the 2000 a point here pretty easily. Look at the skin. Look at the vascularity. I believe point number 2 is being delivered to the 2000 Mr. Olympia version here in the front lat spread. Hard to say, really. It's not that fair. Not a head-on comparison, and it is a more clearer picture in the 2000. A little bit blurry in 2002. But I still would say 2000 is slightly better here. So I would say the front is better in the 2000 version. So now let's have a look at the backs. And oh no, he did it to me again. This is going to be a hard judging venture after all. I almost get my hopes up for a certain year. I was hoping they'd turn around and 2000 would also take the backs, making it an easy decision. But wow, advantage 02 Arnold Classic. Look at his Christmas tree. He has one. He does not have one in 2000. A little bit of wrinkles back there. That is per usual. Actually, the 2000 lat spread is fantastic for Lee Priest. Look at the hamstrings, even some glutes. But he is that much better in 2002. What a back. Wow, this is going to be a tough decision to make. Of course, we are going after the best overall Lee Priest. And there's a lot of versions where people say, oh, this is the best version, simply because of a couple of most muscular shots where he looks phenomenal. But we're looking about every pose here. We're thinking about every pose, not just one or two that make him the best Lee Priest. Let's have a look at the rear double bicep. And in my opinion, the domination continues for 2002 in the back. In most people's score sheets, well, I mean, the way I judge this, and it would be an exact tie, but I don't know. I'm thinking the back development is more important for a complete Lee Priest, whereas it is a weak point for Priest, in my opinion, considering how dominant he is from the front. I don't know. There is one more pose. Unfortunately, there is no most muscular comparison. There was a crab for one and a hand clasped for the other. So I can't remember which year had the crabs. Anyway, let's look at this ab and thigh and make our final decision based on this. And I actually think it's quite obvious who's winning this ab and thigh shot. Those thighs are just too smooth on the part of 2000 at the Mr. Olympia. It is going to be an Arnold Classic that advances on in this tournament. His waist seems to be a little bit smaller. Now, yes, the lats are wider in 2000, but I think that's just the angle of the shot, perhaps. Either way, look at the feathering in his thighs. This is going to be a tough ab and thigh to beat. And that, armed with those two back shots, this 2002 Arnold Classic could go all the way. And either way, he does advance on to the semi-final matchup. So, the next matchup in this tournament is the 2002 Mr. Olympia version of Lee Priest versus the 05 Arnold Classic. This is pretty much a repeat of today's match. It'll be a Mr. Olympia versus an Arnold Classic, and in my opinion, those are the best matches. The two most conditioned versions are always the Arnold Classics and the Mr. Olympias. So, one to look forward to for sure. Hope you enjoyed this one. Have a good day.